listen, look, I know it's your night off. I know it's all the appraisers. It's everyone's night off. But I'm really curious what this organ would be worth. Would you all appraise, Jim, would you appraise it?
Me too,
Jim,
Roy.
back.
I'll give it a shot. I want to thank you all for coming here. I was here this afternoon. I had the pleasure of meeting Gary, and a very wise person who happens to be sitting here with me said, let the guests tell the story. It's a great lesson. I've learned a lot. Gary has been an amazing resource of information. He knows more about not only this organ, but about the Rudolf Wurlitzer Organ Company than anyone in the country. I have seen one other of these. Of course, he says, oh yeah, I've seen that one too. You know? And we had a great time today talking about the organ, talking about the theater. You're very lucky to have this man here. He keeps this organ working. He has a staff of volunteers that comes in on the weekend. It's affectionately called Big Bertha. It's a Wurlitzer wizard, is what they call it. It's a public one. It's made for a theater of about this size, 2,500 seat theater. There are actually bigger ones. This is one of 3 that's still in the location that was installed in. The others in Seattle, the others in Denver. These galleries up here house an amazing array of real musical instruments that are powered and actuated by this. There's drums, there's horns, there's reeds, there's everything you can possibly imagine. Whistles, train whistles, bird whistles. These were used for the silent movie theater that this was. Another amazing fact, this theater was built in 9 months. If you can possibly imagine, it's just a phenomenal thing that in 1927, November 11th, 1927, this organ left the factory in New York and was delivered here, installed, and they started being in business. It's a fabulous machine. It's got more bells and whistles than you can possibly know, and I'm sure Gary would be glad to share with you what he knows. He shared with me a lot. We've been corresponding by email, and I came in and had a wonderful afternoon with him today. Nobody's ever brought one of these to the Antique Roadshow. We've seen some big things, but I'm waiting. But second best is I got to see it today, and I got to talk with Gary and got to see this beautiful theater that you have in your lovely town. It has had an insurance appraisal. We talked about putting things in context. I think it would be really difficult to have an auction value or a retail value for something like this. About all you can do is insure it, because it's even at the insurance price that it was appraised at, I think it's irreplaceable. It's so complex, it's so unique. It's really an irreplaceable art object. And it comes close to your rhinoceros cups.
Oh. Do you remember?
What was that, 1.5?
1 to 1.5.
1 to 1, no, we're there. They have an appraisal for this lovely thing and the devices that are behind here that you see. The lovely organ, which is decorated clear around the back. It was actually made to be on a turntable when it was first designed, but they couldn't afford to do it, of $1.4 million. One of the real joys of being on the Antique Roadshow is you come in knowing what you know, but there's always an opportunity to learn something new, not only from someone like Gary, but from your other appraisers. It's been a real joy for me to do this all these years. Every year I learn something new. I have a great time between the other appraisers, the staff. It's really been a great part of my life. It's been going to camp, like Mark said. I look forward to it every year. Gary, I want to thank you so much for having me here. Public Television of Birmingham, I want to thank you for having us.